And welcome back to the Two Broke Gamers podcast. It's myself, Ricky.
And I'm Steve.
Yeah, we had a little blooper, so that's why I was like...
A little blooper that we're not over yet.
I know, right?
It's cool.
Yeah. So, second part of this is going to be a discussion about Smash Bros. And you guys are probably tired of this if you guys are still listening. Dude, they're going to talk about Smash Bros. Again?
Yeah, really? Oh, God. But this one is actually, would Smash Bros. Be what it is if it weren't?
Smash, yeah, if it weren't...
If it were not Nintendo characters, would it have lifted off?
And then the second part to the discussion I think we could bring up too, even if the fame from Nintendo was dying, would another game like Smash take the reins and take over from where Smash is? So why I'm bringing this up is because Smash is big, and it's really the only game of its kind out, and nobody's really replicated it as far as Smash itself goes, because I know I know there's another game called PlayStation Battle All Stars, which nobody really liked. I mean, some people did like it.
No, well, let's be fair. I mean, people brought the game down here, and I've had fun playing it, but I can only play so much of that game before I'm just like, all right, what else? Whereas I could play Smash all day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like PlayStation Battle All Stars was really kind of it was an okay game. I'm not gonna lie, it was okay.
For those of you who have never played the game, you don't have health meters, you don't have percentage like Smash, you don't have health bars like every other fighting game. You build up like a meter, and then you can only kill people with like a special attack.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just punching each other in the face.
Yeah,
to no consequence.
And you don't really smash them out. You hit them with this one powerful move, and they disappear, and then that was your life.
Yeah, and that's your life.
Yeah,
so.
and it's not as exciting. Like when you smash somebody out, there's some sort of satisfying thing where you're launching somebody off the screen.
Yeah, not only that, like you could be fighting someone for a solid 5 minutes to build up your meter, and then you miss, and then you're just like, ugh, I hate this game.
Yeah,
so it gives you. You should never feel like I hate this game. If you ever play a game and you get that feeling, return that game immediately, because you know that feeling is going to return.
Like even not the actual literal like the literal kind, like not the I hate this game but you keep playing it. It's more so of I seriously hate this game. Like that was a dumb thing they did. Why did I buy this game or waste my time playing this game? So
I don't know. Just to build up all that time and to waste all that energy fighting someone to build up a meter that's required to kill someone, and then to have an attack that misses. That's so frustrating.
So, I mean, and that's really the closest other game. Because, I mean, and it wasn't like they took the aspects of Smash where it's like a platformer, where it's one solid stage. Depending on the stage, you could have platforms. It wasn't any of that. It was basically a square stage.
You were in a box.
You were in a box, and like you kind of ran around and fought it. Like, that's really what it was. And it wasn't, and that's like kind of the closest thing you have. And it makes me wonder if like Nintendo has exclusive rights to something like that, or because look at Street Fighter. I mean, look at how many fighting games look like Street Fighter. They're basically Street Fighter in whatever iteration it was, whether it be Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, the 3D version, ones where they had like the 3D, Street Fighter EX, whatever that was called.
Well, basically, it's that face-to-face 2D fighting style where you're just punching back and forth.
Yeah.
You can only go certain right, and you can only go certain way left.
And then up and down to the heights.
Right, but
and
like
then the gauges, the life bars.
Right.
And
Mortal Kombat looks like that. Street Fighter looks like that. Marvel vs. Capcom's like that. Like most traditional fighters are that style.
Yeah, like Persona, going even like to dive kick, even dive kicks the same, and it's all basic stuff. So why is it that nobody has emulated, or maybe even, I mean, they've tried to, but why has no one really emulated this actual platforming fighting? Like knocking somebody off a stage game.
And it very well could be that it's copyrighted. I didn't really look into that.
Which
we probably should have beforehand. But hey, that would make this way not fun. So assuming that it's not, and why it's been proven to work, because clearly Smash is a hit game. People love it.
But then
why has it not been duplicated?
Yeah, and if it was duplicated, would it be successful? That's the thing. Is Mario really making the game, or would they like make like another version of this game by somebody else, and it's like Anthony the Carpenter from like Queens or something, that's one of the players, and like Space Dog and Space Bird.
Right, like if these were just random things, or even if they were just like wireframes. Yeah. That's actually what Smash was supposed to be. Like Nintendo 64 Smash was supposed to be just wireframes. They weren't supposed to be Nintendo characters.
Yeah.
And then people are like, hey, why not make them Nintendo characters? That might be fun.
Well, it was more so a joke, and that was the best part because he had these wireframe characters at first. I remember, and then he kind of put them into Nintendo characters because as a joke, he's like, "Why don't we have Nintendo characters fight each other? That's funny."
And it ended up being a humongous success.
Yeah, it was a joke game. They did it, and so many people loved it. And they were like, "Why don't we just kind of release it?" And it wasn't actually supposed to be released outside of Japan. Funny enough, so once it was released in America, that was where where everything started. And then of course Melee made it peak. Brawl brought it down a little bit, but of course Project M came back.
Curse you, Brawl. But tripping. But no, I definitely, I don't know. I actually have no idea. Like, that we're supposed to be having our opinions on this, but I just don't know how the game would have done without the Nintendo characters.
I would love to see it done, honestly. If I had like some sort of means or knowledge in game design and such like that, I would try to put together something where we create that. And all the stages be like, and not aim for the casuals, because I know Nintendo's trying to hit all audiences, but aim for the one, because there really is that one core audience of Smash that wants the competitive level of gaming, which is why they're kind of like against Brawl, and why Project M is like preferred to most of them, and why Smash 4 is more like a middle ground. Some people are 50-50 on that until the game gets released, because
we don't know. We just have no idea how that game is going to work out.
But the best part about Smash 4, I mean, as much as people are against it and saying, "Oh, this game's like Brawl, and it's going to be the same old thing," and all of that, they're going to buy it.
Yeah.
Every single person that's saying any negative thing about Smash 4 is going to buy it, no matter what.
Most likely.
And if not, they're going to be playing it at their friend's house because their friend's going to buy it.
Yeah. Someone will have this game, and you will play it.
Yes.
But we're going back to the subject here about Smash being what it is.
The point I was going with that is, okay, everybody's going to buy it, but let's say it happens with Brawl again, where Brawl everybody bought it. Literally everybody bought Smash.
Well, actually,
Brawl.
I know some people who were so displeased with Brawl that they actually returned it.
Yeah. So and let's say like that happens, and like a Smash 4 is like another Brawl, and people just like what if somebody else made a game independently, whether it be released on PC, picked up maybe by somebody else, who knows? And it becomes as successful, if not more, than Nintendo, than Smash. Wouldn't that be possible at that point, if like that scenario happened?
Well, yeah, I think now with the success that the Smash platform has gotten, I think you can create a duplicate and have it be just as popular, or maybe not just as popular, but have it be close to what the Smash community is. However, I think if the original Smash 64 never happened, and you had just released a game of wireframes or random characters, well, maybe random characters would have worked, but I think if you had released a game of wireframes, I don't know if that game would have taken off.
True. And I also thought about this because a while back I was reading on Reddit somebody that wanted to say, like, would you play an indie version of Smash Bros? And he had a list of people, because he really, this person, I don't know if it's he or she, really wanted to, the goal was to make it independent characters of independent games. So he had like Dustman, Dust Girl, Super Meat Boy as an idea, Juan from Guacamelee, Hat Girl from Hat in Time, like all these ideas, the Limbo Kid possibly.
Well, I think if you throw in characters that people are familiar with, you will have interest there and you'll have popularity. It's creating characters, having independent characters, things that are new to this game that no one's ever heard of. That's where your struggle might begin. But that's also where your success might come too.
Yeah, I mean, look at where Street Fighter's roots came from. Nobody knew these characters.
Right. It's one of those things that you have to have a character for people to enjoy it. And that's why I think wireframes would have been a terrible idea, because they're not characters. They're human shapes, or they're just shapes that don't have personality. I think a lot of the things, they come from personality of a character. People love Captain Falcon. When you think of Captain Falcon, I think of two things: show me your moves and Falcon Punch,
and the Knee of Justice.
And the knee. Well, that's one of the moves, but from the original, the Knee of Justice. Well, it was a move, but it wasn't as powerful in the original Smash.
Yeah, it wasn't that at all. But think of the Falcon Punch,
right? When I think of Captain Falcon, which I knew nothing about, F-Zero was a racing game. There was no real personality because there was no like story mode to F-Zero. I mean, even then, I didn't even play F-Zero.
Yeah.
But when I played Smash, the original Smash, Captain Falcon was one of my favorite characters, because his taunt was "show me your moves," and there was so much you could do with that, and just Falcon Punch and all the memes that came with Falcon punching. What happens when two Falcon punches collide? They punch, and all of a sudden the TV explodes.
Yes.
So I think having that that character, having the personality of a character helps a lot. Another thing, Yoshi was horrible, but I liked Yoshi because I had been a big Yoshi fan from previous games. So I think that also helped. Mario is a big figure in Nintendo, so people who just love Mario always played Mario because he's a familiar face. So, that definitely helps. Like having a character with a personality, people tend to like fan favorites.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Can somebody even make that? I mean, that's what I wonder. And if they were to make it, it'd probably most likely be a PC game. It has to be, because it's probably just better and safe way to do it. And to make it not an exact ripoff of Melee per se, but at least to make it to a point where it's almost like the speed of Melee and like the features of Melee, like wave dashing, but not as difficult to pull off wave dashing. Like make the movements like and the spacing like grand as Melee, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Even if you had to put it off that way, and the different modes and just platforms, whether it be just a solid stage or a stage with platforms.
Well,
and
I feel
whatnot.
like your stages will have to vary because there are the people who just love Final Destination, just the one flat stage. But then for every person who or for maybe every two people who like Final Destination, you've got someone who likes Battlefield, who likes platforms. There's characters who work out better on platforms than they do than a flat stage. If you're playing Pikachu, you want the flat stage because nothing can interrupt your thunder. But if you're playing, I don't know, I'm blanking on a character who does better. I feel like
if you play Marth on FD, that's just the dominant character.
Right.
Same thing with Fox.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of characters who do better.
Sheik could do better on
Sheik likes
platforms.
Exactly. So it's just certain characters need certain things to do well. Let's put it that way. And also just players want options. If you just have everything flat, which I think that's where Nintendo's they're all flat stages might flaw. If you have all flat stages, people are gonna get bored.
But that's the thing too. Like with Melee, there's such a few out of all the stages. There's only like 4 or 5 you can pick from. The same thing where Project M has a little bit more variety, but it's going to get to a point where, I mean, it's not like you could watch the same stage and get bored with it. I mean, I could understand that. That's what happened to Street Fighter and even Marvel. Like, everybody picks the one stage, a training stage. Sometimes they'll pick other stages, but everybody wants to go to the training stage. And I don't get why a lot of those guys don't get flack for that, but people will get flack from being a Melee player to go to those only certain stages. So even if you had the flat stages, at least have something decorative behind it that can work for you, because I mean, stages can work like that, like a solely floating stage. And if you made a game like Smash and had that, like, it could work out. Honestly, I think it could work out in some sort of way where it can be, as long as you have something else going on behind it, and have it in a different way where the platforms are different or there are no platforms, or like it's like Fountain of Dreams where it's like something like cool, like a fountain coming down.
The platforms move.
Yeah.
Yeah, they disappear and they reappear.
But the background's awesome. Like, I
Yeah,
love
no,
Fountain
it's
of Dreams.
nice.
Like, but if someone can pull that off and just make a stage, just a game just with stages like that, I think it could work out. And especially if you have the right characters, whether they be independent games or not.
I think that you should, if you're going to do a game like that, I don't know how independent characters will work out, because then you'll have the naysayers who are like, oh, it's just a budget Smash, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you're always going to get that.
Yeah.
If you're making a game that's going to be like Smash that isn't Smash, you're
It's
gonna
Smash.
get someone who's gonna call it a duplicate, who's gonna hate on it just because of what it is. So just be prepared for that.
That's
But
true, too.
I think personally, I think you should work on developing new characters, things that people aren't familiar with. That way they have something to become familiar with, and you can create a fan favorite that way.
Because one other example that I want to bring up that had a platform fighting, but they did it in a different style. It's almost like Smash, but it's an 8-bit version, but it's almost like a sport in a way, because you're not solely fighting. It's a game called Bada Body Ball, and it's part of this sports game package that's released for PlayStation, where you're basically on a platform. There's a few different stages that you can pick from that are mostly a flat, like, stage, whether it's floating or it's like a rectangle. But the point of this game is you're 8-bit characters, there's different type of characters, and you're basically beating each other up to try to get a ball into the other side. Because there's, the stage is just, one big map, floating stage, 2 sides, and there's water on the bottom. Now, and there's a ball. And the ball, with the object of the game is you have to knock the ball into the person's other, to the person's side, because the stage is split into 2 sides. The person on the right person, the person
Like
on,
soccer.
Yeah. Now the person on one side has to knock the ball into the other one's water and let it sink in to get a point. But now the other person can fight you and beat you up and also try to knock around the ball and try to knock it out to try to get to your side and vice versa. And that's really the point in the game. And I first saw it in one of the tournaments that happened a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month or so ago. And I thought it was a pretty interesting concept. I even was interested in getting the game, just the fact that I had to find people to play it with.
Yeah.
But just the fact that a game like that can exist made me wonder about if that can be somewhat mildly successful and was in a tournament and money was on the line for it. Why can't this be done for something like Smash and something else like that? And whether it be an 8-bit style thing or a 3D style thing. But the point of it is, I believe that something can be done like that. I mean, if there's a ton of games that look just like Street Fighter, play like Street Fighter, and if there's some other games that look just like Marvel, where you have, players trading off and stuff,
No.
why can't something look like Smash? Whether it be something that's built up on percentage or something that's built up on points. Like, say if you're knocking somebody up and you're getting them to a higher level, or if you're beating somebody up to get up your own level, like PlayStation Battle All Stars.
Yeah.
It can work out that way, in all honesty. And I think it can be enjoyable and it could be fun. And if done right, it can, with the right characters and whatnot, and on the right console, whether it be, I mean, Microsoft's the only one that left that doesn't have a fighter like that. PlayStation tried it. Nintendo has theirs. Microsoft's the only one that doesn't have anything like that yet. So they're the only ones. And then, of course, it's PC.
Well,
so
Microsoft doesn't really have characters like that. They don't. What are you're gonna? I can think of like 2.
yeah.
Master Chief, and then the dude from
God.
Mass Effect. I'm blanking his name.
Yeah. But if they did that, that'd be kind of bad. You're right on that. But, I mean, independent games, like, even if it's original characters or independent characters, I mean, even then, they can...
Shepard.
Yeah.
Commander Shepard. There we go. I knew it'd come to me. My bad. I just burst that out.
Eventually, you would have, like, independent characters from other independent games, original characters, and even maybe characters from Microsoft's team, if it even gets to that point. But if you're talking about PC, if you had independent game characters plus original characters, and if you do it the right way, it can work out. If it would be included for Microsoft, it could probably work out like that too. I think something like that can work out, but you have to have the right crew, the right set of people that can make a game work out like that and make it work flawless. Because it's not like that game looks easy to make. That's another thing too. So it's going to take some time for that game to make.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think but you have to make your own characters. I think it should be made by an independent person, or independent company rather. And I think they should create their own characters, not use independent, like, not Meat Boy or, not Dust Boy, Dust Girl, like none of that. I think you should create your own new fighter using characters that you created. But you have to give them personality.
True.
Make them say funny things, make them say stupid things, make them say serious things. You got, appeal to everybody.
True.
I like joke characters. I like characters that, like, they make fun of you as they beat you up. Not everyone likes that. Some people like the stern, heavy guy who's badass and he talks shit to you all game. So
that's about it for our discussion. If you have anything to add to that, come on the YouTube channel.
hit us up on Twitter.
Hit us up on Twitter on what you guys think. And we'll see you guys next week. We got a news topic to talk about and more news that we just couldn't cover. We had a lot of news and we skipped a lot about it, but some of them major, some of them not. Some of them could become major discussions in the future.
You can follow us on Twitter at 2BrokeGamers Pod.
And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in, guys.
Later.